Yeah,
Yeah.
it is interesting because this is another kind of funny and peculiar fun fact. Brian and I, for years, have watched the Oscars, having really not watched the films and just guessed who was going to win in the categories. And like we might give ourselves 10 minutes to research right beforehand and then we fill it out. And so he would usually beat me. But now that I've been doing this, I kick his butt handily. So that's good.
Here we are talking about the Oscars again, and our next film that we're discussing is Anatomy of a Fall. And just so you know, there will be spoilers.
I just want you to know one thing. I'm not a monster.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We had different reactions about this one.
Yeah, we did. So this ended up as a number 5 on my top 10 list for the year. And well, why don't you start?
All right. Well, I gotta say, this was a what the F moment for me. I have that a lot of moments watching Oscar films, and I was very, very frustrated with this film. I finished it and I was just the tension and the like the dramatic build up, the foreshadowing, or at least what I thought was foreshadowing, in the movie. I just thought we were building to this big moment that there was going to be a resolution in this film that I would know about and it would all kind of come together. And
Hmm.
it didn't. And I don't do well with that. So it was very frustrating for me. There were
Hmm.
a lot of great things about the film. Great acting, storytelling. I mean, phenomenal job building that tension. But like I said to you, when we were kind of chatting about it, like literally nothing happened. I mean, except for the guy died, right? But they didn't show it,
Right.
and they didn't tell us how.
Right. Yeah.
Super frustrating.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right that they build up this incredible sense of dread through all the techniques, the natural lighting and the atmosphere, the setting. You've felt that cold before. You've felt that winter sunlight and kind of how unsettling that is. And being in a house with that much noise and that much incongruity, talking about the earlier scenes before the event, like all of that is like this mounting sense of dread, and it does not let up for the rest of the running time. Like you feel like you're on trial. I think sort of like I think it's kind of built that way to put you a little bit more in the shoes of someone you might not immediately sympathize with, especially as we learn more about her, the Sandra Huller character. Yeah, it's a tricky one. If it's closure you seek, spoiler
You're not
alert,
getting.
there is none to find here. What I do like about that though is that it suggests a life beyond the running time, which is, well, now this boy has to grow up with this mom. And what's that going to be like?
I get it, but like, I don't really want to spend 2 hours of my life in a story that I don't get. I get the, life outside, and I think my brain would have done that either way. I mean, he was this boy. I mean, that brings up a whole nother topic for me.
Mm,
Just empathizing with his character throughout this film, and just
mm,
what an awful position he was in. Like either way, it panned out was
mm.
a horrible, horrible like reality for him
Yeah,
of losing his father.
yeah.
Um,
It's sort of a different spin on like the divorce scenario of like who are you gonna live with? But you know,
yeah, except you go and sit in a courtroom and listen to like every little detail about your parents' marriage and dad's
yeah,
depression and affairs.
yeah.
That was intense.
If you grow up in a certain household, if you're trying to fall asleep at night and you're hearing something going on, some kind of thing, it's like that's one thing, but to have like a front row seat to their marriage, I think that was the other thing this movie did really well. They take like this police procedural courtroom drama sort of plot and they make it about their marriage. Yeah, hard stuff. And I think the child actor, his name escapes me right now, but he's probably one of the best child actors I've seen. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He was phenomenal. And after the fact, I was wondering about Best Supporting Actor nomination for him. I haven't seen
Mm,
many in the category yet, but
yeah,
he was
yeah.
really, really impressive.
Oh man. Yeah, that would be a good one. And it would be totally warranted too. I like the way it was filmed. I like the way it was edited. I like the way it played with your sense of perception, the way it would present a rough reenactment of what may have happened, intercut with a lot of audio of trial. It was like very sort of like clever documentary, avant-garde filmmaking that way. For me, that was what I got really excited about, just like the way it was shot, or like, like the camera would be moving and then something would happen and the camera would kind of go over here like it was a news reporter kind of thing, which also just is so unsettling. You're just like, I don't know where to look or who to trust, and just sort of
Yeah, absolutely. I literally I think there were 5 minutes left in the film, and I paused it because I was so anxious. And I turned to my husband and I was like, something really bad is about to happen. Like I thought we were gonna have like what was that? I see dead people moment. What was that? Like,
right. Yeah.
I thought she was gonna just whisper to the dog at the very end, like, I did it.
Right.
I literally, I mean, that tension just the entire way through was crazy.
Yeah.
And going back to the courtroom stuff, I did find it kind of interesting to see a court proceeding in like a different country, because it was very different than what we see for the United States, like a film like that.
Yeah.
Particularly going back to the house with the judge, and I don't think I don't know, maybe it happens in the United States, but that scene where the son has to actually go back to the house and stand outside and try to give his information on if he could hear that argument over the music was, I felt so bad for him. Like,
yeah. Like here's like one of the most, probably the most traumatic moment of your life after already having gone through one which caused his blindness.
Right.
And now we're going to make you relive it.
Right.
Because
so
nobody
you can
knows.
like tell us whether or not your mom probably killed your dad.
Yeah.
I can't even wrap my head around it.
But yeah, Anatomy of a Fall, it would be a tough one to just pop on.
Yeah. I don't know. If you're just watching to be entertained, I don't know if this is the movie for you. This is definitely a case where talking to you about the film after watching it helped me to appreciate it more. Even though I was still frustrated, there wasn't a resolution. I've learned, like, through viewing these films, that there's more to enjoying cinema than that. So that's been a really cool thing to learn through the process of watching these films and watching things that I wouldn't normally watch.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for saying that. And I think that's one of the things I like about your assignment that you've taken on to watch these films, because you get such like a wide variety of films and the types of stories that are being told, and the kind of blending old and new and driving it through new perspectives, and it's exciting. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. We're going to be doing some more of these videos talking about Oscar nominated films, so yeah, stay tuned. We have a couple fun ones coming up. I'll be talking with Michelle on some other videos, and also want to take this opportunity to plug myself. I am a filmmaker, I am a director, a screenwriter, and an editor, and would love to work with you if you have ideas for storytelling videos, either for your business or for other needs. Let's have a chat.